Hello everyone and welcome to another hour of torture. I am your host, Alan M10, as usual for the everyday Minecraft quest. Right now, I am attempting to set up what I think will be fun. I just downloaded a new OBS stream helper thingamabobber robot guy, which I do not trust, of course, can't trust the robots. Seems to be working, but I don't like this visual. Can I see it in the editor? Yeah, looks like I can. Anyway, on to the stream. So you might notice right about here we've got a nice viewer count. I'm not sure if it actually works. I guess that's something we can test first. We also have the chat, which should be right about here. And I think we can see donations right up... No, not donations. Subscriptions right up here. Do not do donations, of course. I do not. That is the wrong button. I think it should all be working. The sounds for it might be a little messed up. I wouldn't doubt it. We'll see. I think I also set up some sort of an event system. But I don't, of course, know if that's working or not. We'll have to see. See, that's the problem. That's why they need to add it so you can subscribe to yourself. So you can test that stuff. But anyway, where we left off, we got a lot more cool items, which I greatly enjoy the thought of. And we also bred our first villager, which is very helpful now that we can start producing those guys. We can start looking for the best trades and using selection powers of awesomeness and brutal genocide. Brutal genocide. It looks like it's going to take a while, so I'll give them their space. What I want to do for this episode is get some more iron, get some more wood, set up a wood farm, expand these farms, maybe take out the cactus farm, because it kind of, A, looks ugly, and B, really serves no purpose other than getting cactus for the slime farm, so I think we might as well take that out now. That is quite literally the only purpose it serves. Until we need green dye. Then, well, it won't be there anymore, so we'll have to find some other cacti. I swear I heard an explosion, but I'm just going to ignore it. Streamlabs was actually suggested to me by Red, and I'm really excited about the chat feature because, well, I was excited, I suppose I should say. I should use the past tense for that because at first I thought that it meant I could see the live chat from my Minecraft screen, the one I'm on currently. But apparently it does not mean that. Apparently it simply means that you guys will be able to see the chat, which you can very clearly already see if you look at YouTube, but... Yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. It looks cool. I changed out the colors a bit. Hopefully they're not too bright, though of course they probably are. I picked some very bright and vibrant colors. I don't know why. It was early. It was 5 a.m. I looked at it and I said, oh, why the heck not? Green on purple. Yeah, it seems good. Turns out it doesn't actually look that poor. Well, it does look a little weird. So I guess it does look pretty poor. After we expand the farm, I did decide that I do want to add some sort of andesite or some other material surrounding this sugarcane farm, it didn't look industrial enough, or it doesn't now. And when I did add it, you know, I was having one of those days where I thought everything looked ugly. It looked ugly at the time, but I look back on the stream and it actually looked pretty fine. Hello to Ravenpaw Tales. Welcome to the stream. Just set up Streamlabs. Hopefully it's working. Let's check. Oh, it doesn't look like the chat box is working. Unless it's just lagging, which it shouldn't be. Oh, of course it is. Let's see. No, it's there. And yet, nothing's happening. Huh, naturally. Oh. I don't know. I guess something for another day. I won't bother with it on the stream because that is boring. Yes, but anyway, welcome to the stream. Good to have you on. This is just, of course, the laid-back Minecraft stream I do every day for about an hour. Generally because I do like Minecraft. I know it's somewhat of a children's game, but it doesn't feel like a children's game to me. To me, it feels more like, best put by the game theorists, a farming simulator. I think they put it in the best words. The simplest of terms, I suppose. I've seen the game called, like, Stardew Valley. Very popular out on the YouTubes. And I've only seen one episode of it, but looks kind of like a 2D version of Minecraft. So, I don't understand why I wouldn't just be happy playing Minecraft. Ravenpaw Tale says, everyday Minecraft stream? I'm interested. Glad you are. Well, I don't know. I don't know how interested you'll be after a few episodes. Hopefully I can keep it entertaining. Sometimes we have fun conversations, sometimes it's a quite quiet, very peaceful stream. One might even say too peaceful. And sometimes I die a lot. Those are the fun episodes. Not really. But I do have one conversation topic we can start off on anyway. So, you remember all the trolling we were doing to Red the other day? You know, just non-stop, all the time, without cease. It was pretty barbaric on our parts, and you know what could be more barbaric than that? I just want to see if you can guess this. If you can, I'm impressed. If you need some help, what's the best way to remember all of those moments forever and ever and show our children and our grandchildren? No, it isn't. Don't say that. Seriously, don't say it. Red sometimes watches this. You might get in trouble there. Anyway, what I did was put together a handy-dandy little montage of stuff. Specifically, Red being trolled. I just finished it this morning at like, what, 4 in the morning? Oh, it was quality. In fact, I could say quality 50 more times and it wouldn't describe the quality of that stinking piece of work. And once I add silly music to it, oh, it's gonna be undeniably beautiful. A work of art, I might say. So I'll be sure to send it to you, is what I'm saying. I don't know, but then again, a part of me feels that's a bit cruel. Do you think so, Ravenpaw? Do you think I'm going just a bit too far with the Rick rolls and the memes and the spamming and the stream chat? Oh, by the way, You are not a moderator yet, and since you're a moderator on Red's stream, it only feels right to make you a moderator here. I don't know why you're not a mod yet. Kind of bad on me for that. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. Oh, that is the wrong app. Ravenpaw says, Red being trolled, I want to see it so bad, though. I know, it's one of those things that you can never really do twice in the course of 1 minute, 60 seconds. I'll take that back, I did actually do that a few times. But rarely, very rarely. It's something that you want to cherish, and I completely understand. Personally, I'm going to tell my children to show it to their grandchildren. You know. Hopefully Red isn't watching this. I don't think he'd appreciate. I don't think he has the artistic demeanor to appreciate true works of art these days. If you know what I'm saying. I'm just kidding, Red. If you are watching, we only do it because we love you. Ravenpaw says it is never cruel to spam on Red's live stream. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. I was almost feeling guilty there. How silly of me was that. Oh, sometimes I look at myself and I just laugh. Like, ah, why would I feel pity? The Rick rolls are actually one of my favorites, because Red almost always falls for it. Oh, it's so true, too. In my montage, I just want to make, like, a pure 5 minutes of clips of Red clicking on Rickroll videos. I have enough content to do it already, I just want to make it even longer. Like, you know, trim down the clips so I can fit in even more clips into that 5 minutes. We have to think economically efficient when we're doing this sort of stuff. I've learned that. After all my years of trolling Paul, God knows I should be educated in this stuff. What the heck is rumbling? It's you. Stop it. Isn't it? This. No, it's still rumbling! Hopefully the stream doesn't hear that, but it's really starting to get on my nerves. There's like this thing on my desk that every time I make a movement, it just moves a tiny bit and makes a tiny sound. Just kind of like a mouse, actually. Oh, fun story, by the way. Once, my pet snake wouldn't eat a mouse, so I had to keep it as a pet for a few days. Because at that time, I was buying live mice, and believe me, I don't feed him live mice anymore because I feel so bad about doing it. Oh, it hurt my heart to do that sort of stuff. But anyway, back to the story. I kept the mouse in my room in a cage I bought from the pet store because I felt bad for it. I didn't want to keep it in like a cardboard box. I was afraid it would suffocate or something. So I got that. And first, let me start off with saying how watery mice are. Not watery, liquid, I think, is the right defining term for that. They can fit through any gap in any setup. I had bars literally less than ½ an inch apart, metal bars, and the mouse was able to somehow systematically squeeze his skeleton through these tiny little gaps. It was quite amazing to watch, and I did catch him doing it one night while I was sleeping. But where this story is going is, Mice create so much noise when they are on a hard floor, and their little claws just go click, 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 click all over the floor. It was horrible. At first I thought it was my cat, because it sort of sounded like her just walking around. Then I realized no cat walks like putting their feet on the ground 50 times a second. Oh, it has to be something else. Then I had a heart attack, you know, when I realized the mouse had escaped. Ravenpaw says, Red falling for Rickrolls, I want a 10-hour version now. 5 minutes isn't enough. We're gonna have to work a bit more for that one, but, you know, in a few years we might just be up to that point. Ravenpaw says, my aunt had a snake and her feeding it live mice made me feel sick and sad. Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. Like, actually, I don't really want to get into this topic. Would you want to talk about that stuff? Because it does get kind of gruesome. I'll only talk about it if you want to talk about it. Because it is something that snake keepers have to deal with, but I don't want to say anything disgusting for no real reason. Snakes are cool for everything else besides what they eat. They are fun pets to have. Not fun, they're just relaxing. Especially the pythons. The pythons I would recommend to anyone who doesn't mind feeding them mice. Ravenpaw says, I actually named one of the live mice. Oh, and I was unaware that it was snake food. Oh, that's horrible. I'm sorry. Yeah. I did get a little attached to my mouse when I had it in the cage, but, you know, then I realized, oh, the snake wants to eat again. Well, sorry, buddy. But you didn't really like your setup anyway. You kept escaping. You clearly, you know, every night I heard him screaming, communism, communism, and I knew he just wasn't happy with his setup, so. Poor guy. But that's the thing, when you hear your pet screaming communism, then you know it's time to, you know, deliver them to heaven. To the white pearly gates where communism, I guess, might exist if any communists go to heaven, but, yeah, whatever. That's a topic for another time. And believe me, we will discuss it. But yeah. I will only talk about the keepings of a snake if you ask me to, because apart from how awesome snakes are, well, of course, and you could just ask me to talk about the positives and happy things of owning a snake if you wanted me to, because I'm glad to do that. I am an advocate for owning snakes myself. Wouldn't say that everyone should do it, because it really isn't for everyone. I can barely do it myself, but... Well, one of the positive things that might come off as a little gruesome, but still should, you know, be discussed, is frozen mice. Now, I have had the pleasure that my snake decided one day that he did not like live mice anymore. He did not like eating live mice. So, I thought, well, what are my other options if he doesn't like eating live mice? Frozen mice. And it just so happens that frozen mice are 1,000 times easier to handle. They are much more ethical. They're much more ethical because the people who market them, you know, kill the mice systematically. They do it painlessly, which I greatly enjoy. I do not like the thought of all those little creatures in pain. All in all, they're just easier to prepare. They're easier to feed to the snake. Just better all around. They're snake keeper's dream come true. If your snake likes eating them. Snakes are extremely picky about that sort of stuff. I heard stories of this one snake at the pet store who only liked eating male mice. Like, apparently the females had some sort of a smell that he didn't like. So he only liked eating the males, which I thought was incredible. Because I've never heard of that before. I mean, that is pickiness to the next level. Yeah. Ravenpaw says, my mom hates snakes so bad, even if it's a plush toy snake. Oh, yeah. People like that bring tears to my eyes. Tears of mixed feelings. Yeah, we need some sand. I don't know why I enchanted my shovels, but I suppose that'll speed up the process. Yes, I needed dirt. Suppose that is another thing that anyone who wants to keep a snake could try. Just, you know, keeping a plush toy snake. Those are pretty fun. And they're much more cuddly. Not to say that real snakes aren't cuddly, of course. You know, they're as cuddly as creepers, but... Ravenpaw says a snake that only likes eating male mice? That's pickiness to the next level, like, seriously. Oh, man. I didn't believe it at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I, you know, thought they do kind of have a different smell. I myself, I smelled many mice before. Not really specifically, but I have noticed, like, there's different odors on some of them. No, I didn't check if they were male or female, so I don't really know, but I can confirm some of them smell a little different from others. I'm really sad that the Streamlabs chat isn't loading. It's kind of sad. Is it because I locked it? Alright, let's see. Unlock. Visible view. Oh, wait a minute. Did I... Oh, I want to check something while Ravenpaw is taking a break. Did I mess something up with the colors? Did I mess something up with the code? Chat box. Just have no doubt that I did. Huh. This color, let's go for black on white. Message after 30 seconds. Sorry for anyone on YouTube who thinks this is a bit boring. I will be done with it within seconds. And done. Save settings. Come on, tell me that's working. Well, we'll know when Ravenpaw gets back, but... Hopefully our villagers have created a little villager by the time we get back too. Welcome back, Ravenpaw. Oh, yes, the chat is working! I got it working! I did make a mistake while doing the settings selection. Because of course I did. Well, now, I guess I don't have to read off everything you say, which is... I don't know if that's good or bad. Do you like it when I do that or not? I mean, I think the first time it's fun. But, you know, it gets a bit old after a while. Oh, I have enough sand. Yes, by all means, ask all the questions you'd like. This is a very laid-back Minecraft stream. Really, the only thing that isn't allowed is swearing. But if no one else is in the chat and you want to tell a joke, then I suppose that's okay. I try to keep it PG. I don't swear ever on this stream myself, but if it's for a joke, I can accept it. If you're just throwing them out all the time, then I might be a little sad, but that's about it. Like, I'd shed a little tear. Oh my, that's a very personal question, Ravenpaw. I don't know if I should openly talk about this information over the internet, but sure, I guess, since you're a friend, yes. Yes, I do. Oof. Hope that isn't clipped. Swear to God, Ravenpaw, if you clip that, I'll be so angry. Oh. Little villager. Darn it, they're still going. Wow, this is taking a while, guys. Am I doing something wrong? Should I have left the wood here? Oh, somehow I feel like I should have. Yeah, I probably should have. Okay, I'll put a little back. Wait, I heard something. I heard a tiny villager. Where is he? Oh, they must have already made one. He's probably running around here somewhere. There he is! Yay! He's a little farmer. Look at him. He's so cute. Yay! So they're making another one. Wow. Productive little fellas. I'll leave them to it. I guess again, once again, we do not need a roof. That's just me being silly. All we need is food. Interesting. The more you know. Does the chat look good, by the way, Ravenpaw, since you're not currently asking a question? Like, is it too big? Too small? Would you rather the messages stay longer? Whatever settings you tell me, I'll probably just change them next stream. It's a bit distracting to change them live. Real life friends? Unheard of. Why, is she the one who created spaghetti? Is she the curator of everything spaghetti related? The chat looks 11 out of 10. Oh, trust me, it's gonna look 0 out of 10 when I get in a dark, dark cave. I should probably have thought about that when I was doing the colors, but hindsight, 20 out of 20. It's funny how you only notice these things such the weirdest of times, too. Really? Really? Interesting. Well, I suppose she's got that going for her. What proof does she have, or has she given any? Does she, like, always carry meatballs in her pockets? Just, you know, flash at anyone to say, I've always got meatballs on me. That means I... No, wait. Better yet, it's like a card trick where she takes the meatballs out of her sleeves and says, I just summons this out of midair. With thin air, I have created spaghetti. Oh, that would be a very gross joke. I get sauce everywhere. You know, you have some interesting friends, Ravenpaw. The spaghetti god. I've never really thought I'd ever hear that as an actual thing, but thanks to you, I'm expanding my palette of weird things that have been heard. What happened to the crops of... Oh yeah, this is new farmlands. Spaghetti is her new money? What does that even mean? Does she... Wait... Spaghetti. So you mean if she wanted to buy some bubble gum, she would just go up to the cashier and say, hey, need some bubble gum. Then, you know, she'd flash a bowl of spaghetti. What? This conversation is... It's just falling into madness. Because I'm really not sure what to respond with. I mean, spaghetti isn't a very versatile tool for making jokes. Unless this isn't a joking topic, is this a serious issue on your hands? Dealing with the spaghetti god, keeping her in check so she doesn't take over the world. That doesn't sound like a very good palette of friends. Yeah, perhaps you want it to be a bit more, or maybe less specific and just say a random stranger I saw one day, waving a spaghetti in the air and chucking meatballs at people's faces. I think that would be more accurate, but it would work better for me anyway. Bubblegum explanation, exactly what she does. Well, here's a question. How does she buy more spaghetti? Oh, she doesn't need to. She can just summon it. Okay. But that would be funny, you know? Go up to the cashier. It's like paying a money company to make more dollar bills. A printing press to make more dollar bills. That would just be silly. Which I'm sure it is. Oh, this farm looks fun. She's been kicked out of 12 stores already. Despicable. Despicable, I say. I've been kicked out of many more stores than that. She needs to work a bit harder on her technique. Okay, that's done. Now, should we risk going back to the mines with our diamond weapons? I'm gonna get more wood first, of course. Mines are a dangerous place, however. Oh, that voice crack was not healthy. But anyway, as I was saying, very dangerous. Don't know what you could find down there. Could be a polar bear for all we know. A polar bear! Which would be horrifying. What kind of comedy are you into, Ravenpaw? Improv? Which would be me and Red's stream, so I assume so, but are you into, like, acting? I can never stop myself from enjoying a bit of J.K. Rowling's character, Peeves, the poltergeist from the Harry Potter series. The guy's the best. You know, that sounds like something a god would do, which brings me to another topic. The Roman and Greek gods, they were real jerks. And that's the end of that topic, because that's all I have to say on the matter. They just were. They were mean. They were evil. And downright unlikable in every way. And there were so many of them, too. How do you keep track of them all? I'm pretty sure there was a god of rainbows or something. For all we know, there could have been a god of spaghetti. Maybe even a god of pizza. Oh. That does, you know, that might be one of the gods that isn't actually a terrible person. I would totally, you know, grow on a god of pizza. Not like mold or anything. You know, I could get to like them. Sarcastic comedy mostly, eh? Well, that explains why you like red. Oh, no, better yet, state. That explains why you like state. No offense, of course, there. Oh, really? Well, that's quite the interesting phase in school, if I do say so myself. The only excitement I ever get from my virtual classroom is, well, when the teacher starts up the classroom and the rules haven't loaded yet, so everyone just basically screams in the voice channel and spams memes into the chat. Which mostly comprises of me, actually. I'm usually the one doing that. I'll claim credit for it. Oh god. There was one time when my teacher was switching slides, and for context, I go to a virtual school, which basically means the teacher teaches a lesson of live children, like over a giant Skype call, you can think of it as. We all get to see a little PowerPoint presentation on the teacher's shared screen. But the thing about the program they use is that in some cases it gives students the ability to write on the chalkboard or the teacher's shared screen, and all of the other kids can see it. So what I tend to do is write random little messages, you know, really cryptic little things here and there for people to see, and then remove them instantly. You know, they're fast enough to read within a second, then as soon as they're removed, no one knows who it was. And it's beautiful. Even though I'm pretty sure the teacher keeps a log of who makes activity where, so I'm pretty sure she knows it me, but I don't post anything inappropriate. In fact, some of it's kind of funny, so you know, might just be a tiny bit. Once, however, something went horribly wrong. I had posted a very intelligent and academically improving message comprising of the word stank and the words meme. And as the teacher switched the slides, my cursor was accidentally brought over to the expand tool. And so when the next slide loaded, the words that were supposed to be very tiny became very big, taking up the entire screen, and for 1 second and 1 second only, the only thing you could see were the words dank memes. just flashing across the screen, gone in an instant. But everyone saw it, and I heard the teacher chuckle. Might have been a silly story. In fact, I'm pretty definitely sure that was a silly story. But it was worth it. One of them is the video game god, a god of eggs, and I call myself the god of kazoos, since I'm random. Well, at least you're more creative than me. I wouldn't have thought of kazoos. I'm in middle school, so the immaturity explains everything. Oh, you haven't seen immaturity until you go into high school. No, you have not been exposed to immaturity yet. You don't even know how to use the word. Yes, that's exactly how it looked, but, you know, more like this. No, it's too dark. Well, in fact, oh my goodness, that is dark when I'm in my inventory. I've talked about virtual school quite a bit on this live stream. To quite a few different people. But if you want to hear the short version, it's basically normal school, but on the internet. There you go. If you want to hear the long version, it will take up the remaining 20 minutes of this live stream. Ooh, that's quite a bit of iron. Enjoyable. Most enjoyable. Oh, and for anyone on YouTube, by the way, don't ever do what I do on the internet. I'm a despicable guy who should never be copied ever, unless you're wishing for death, basically. There were a few very memorable moments from Red's live stream, which, by the way, guys, I don't know if I'm going to be uploading that montage or not. I'm going to ask Red permission to do it, because some of the moments are a bit embarrassing, and I wouldn't want to upload anything without his permission, so I'm sorry if that never gets uploaded, but, you know, the streams are on his channel, so if you want to just search for the clips individually, then by all means. Unless he deletes the videos, then you guys have the privilege to. But, yeah, I respect Red. And even though I literally just spent the morning making a montage about me trolling him, I still wouldn't want to do anything like that without his permission. So, sorry guys. Might take a little longer to get up, if it does at all. Well, while we're here, going back to the topic we were on yesterday about our old Minecraft series and what I want to do with them, what I want to do with Paul, basically. He has not, Paul this is, he's not been getting on for the Realm adventures much recently. And I think the reason for this is because I wrote the book The Kindle Flames, or maybe it could be a completely different reason, but generally, the story already feels complete to him. To him, he feels as though he knows everything that's going to happen, and even though he really doesn't, because I have so many more surprises planned for him, he thinks he knows what's going to happen, when in all reality, of course, he doesn't. Sorry, Paul, but I've got many, many more surprises planned for you that you're only going to get to see if either you read the book when it's done, which is boring, or, you know, you do the roleplay. But with the creation of the Kindle Flames first part, I bet he kind of feels now like, oh, well, you know, this story is pretty much over. I don't really have a place in it anymore. The thing is, the Kindle Flames Part 2 has not been written yet. And Paul, I'm speaking directly to you. Hopefully you're watching this. If not, I'll just tell Paul later. But the thing is, the story still revolves around your choices. And while I have surprises planned for you that you don't know about, I don't know what you're going to do in turn. So, it's still your story is what I'm saying. A lot of stuff could still happen. I have the general plotline laid out, but I want you to fill in the minor details, like what the character would actually say, because the character is you. So I'd like to get all that stuff right by carbon copying everything you say, or editing it slightly. Hope you don't mind, but you seem to enjoy what the character Paul did in the first part, so at least I seem to get it slightly right. Now, going back to the stories after the Kindle Flames, the novels after the Kindle Flames, I don't want to use the Minecraft narrative again after I'm done using it this time. Because while it is fun, it is relatively, you know, flexible, it almost feels too flexible. It almost feels like, just, there's not enough rules to the whole, what the characters can and can't do. Because in Minecraft, you can pretty much do anything in the course of any amount of time. Welcome back, Ravenpaw. Sorry, I was just talking about some of the plans I've got for new series coming up. Or new novels that I'm writing. But when you're creating your own story, like I will be soon, the rules can be much more defined. They can be much more less generalized. It's especially hard writing a Minecraft novel because you want to have some part of realism. Like, you can't just have the main character say, oh, there's a horde of zombies, I'll just erect a quick cobblestone wall, because that barely makes any sense and it really isn't fun. It could have some sort of, you know, comical value, but in the end it really wouldn't make any sense, and it wouldn't make for a very action-packed scene. Sure, you could have the zombies breaking down the wall, but, you know, you just realistically place more blocks in those blocks' place. Now, when writing a novel about that, you really have to kind of bend the rules of Minecraft around what you want the novel to be. You really have to get your hands dirty and say, what do I want this scene to have in it, and how are we going to get there? So it's much harder to imagine and to visualize when you're writing. Ravenpaw says, well, you see what she says, but that's cool. What are they about, usually, the stories? Darn you, Ninja Spider. Gold! Man, we must be miles underground. That was dumb. I thought I could pull that off, too. That's what makes it all the more dumb. I suppose you don't have to answer that question, Ravenpaw. That was a bit personal, but... You know, only if you want to talk about it. This is a very open, relaxed stream, as I'll continuously say. Because a few people seem to have forgotten. But I don't blame them. That is not... Oh, that's nice. So it's sort of like a diary. In a way. That's pretty cool. Diaries, I feel, do have some mental purposes. They're very good physical ways of alleviating one's emotions or feelings. Basically, and I think this is pretty obvious, but they're someone to talk to your feelings with. Talk about your feelings with. The reason I say this is because one way, and I have not yet written a diary, this is just my experience, but one way that I found best to deal with those situations is meditation. Lots and lots of meditation. Because writing a diary can be a lot like meditating. You're looking into yourself, you're saying, okay, you know, what happened today and how did I feel? How did I feel when this person did this to me? That sort of thing. What can I improve on? Was I terrible today? Did I perform well? And that's really what I get out of meditation. I understand I have started writing a diary recently because I felt, you know, it would be cool to look back on when I'm like 70 years old or something. Just say, oh, I wrote this. Yeah, there you go. And I kind of got the same feeling like when I was meditating, but not nearly as intense. When you get into a good deep meditation, it doesn't feel like anything else. And I won't say intense because that isn't the right word. More or less, it didn't feel as potent, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's generally the feeling you're looking for out of meditation. Just to really look further inside of yourself. See your strengths, your weaknesses. And that can be very, very healthy, so I applaud you for taking the time to do that. Even if you're just writing down what dreams you had. Oh my. This ravine just keeps going. It's quite slim. Oh, I'm gonna get lost in here, aren't I? Oh well. It's quite the nice place to get lost in. Lots of bats. Yep, I'm gonna get lost in here. Oh, another personal question coming out from Ravenpaw. Oh man, I don't even know if I'm legally obliged to answer this. Like, do I need my lawyer for this one? My favorite character in Scooby-Doo. Could I say duo? Because I really liked Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. But I can't say which one was my favorite because they really just went so well together. I didn't much care for the other characters, but Scooby-Doo and Shaggy were my favorite when I was a kid. Oh my goodness, lots of pits of death here. Oh my, look at the time. Time's flown. Oh, that's too bad. We're gonna have to log out in this cave. Which, from past experience, we know. Oh, dangerous. But if we must, we must. Well, Ravenpaw, who was your favorite character in Scooby-Doo then? Another random question, of course. I didn't like the love story between two of the characters. I think it was, like, the guy, what was his name? Oh, goodness, I don't even remember the other characters' names. It's been too long since I've watched that show. I apologize for my cultural insensitiveness. Yeah. It's been a while, man. But the love story, I felt it developed, I think, halfway through the show's full run, was A, unnecessary, and B, kind of not for kids. I didn't like it. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like it. It wasn't funny. It wasn't necessary. Didn't really serve any purpose. It was just there, and I didn't appreciate it. Ravenpaw says, I like Velma. She is just so sassy and sarcastic sometimes. Okay, admittedly that is some of the stuff that made the romance good, when Velma would come in on those two. And please don't say that Velma was the one in love, because I'm pretty sure she wasn't, but when Velma would come in, see those two doing their thing, and just be like, oh, disgusting and stuff. Science and you two are idiots. Yeah, I did enjoy that. But that was the only part of it I enjoyed, the romance between those two. Velma made it a little better, but she couldn't carry them into good comedy. Oh, we could get a record. No! Oh yeah, Fred and Daphne. Thank you, Ravenpaw. That's the one. Fred and Daphne. Oh, those two. By the way, I didn't see much of it, so I'm sorry if it got better after the series, but I didn't see the series after that. So if you wanted to tell me that I'm wrong, then by all means, because I'd like to be proven wrong about that. I'd like to remember the show is a good comedy there. So if you have any opinions that do not parallel with mine, please do not be afraid to state them. And this goes for all topics, not just the Scooby-Doo thing. Now, granted, I will argue if I feel strongly about my opinion, but I will keep an open mind. Or try to. And if I'm not, then be sure to yell at me. That's too bad about the show, though. It was such a good show, except for that part. I don't even remember... I don't even think their love story had started when the show started itself. The first few episodes were the best. Well, we have just surpassed an hour by about 60 seconds, so bad on me for not seeing that. But it has been quite the fun stream. Thank you for tuning in, Ravenpaw. And anyone else on YouTube, thank you for watching up until this point. I think we'll end it there. So, if you didn't like the stream, be sure to give it a dislike. If you really hated it, then be sure to unsubscribe. And I'll be here tomorrow at... Oh, sorry, I will not be here. Never mind, I will not be here tomorrow. Do not stream on Tuesdays. Every other day, Saturdays, Overwatch. But every day after that is Minecraft. So, I will see you all in the next stream.